Hello, welcome back. It is Wednesday, the 27th, and I'm sorry I got busy for the last couple of days, so I'm just getting back to you now. I hope everybody's doing well and having a great week. Disclaimer, and let's jump right in. All right, let's start with the Newsweek article, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's 2022 Invictus Games PDA moments. Not anything we really want to see, right? But why would Newsweek even write an article about it? Because they need to be in the headlines, and there's nothing else to report on. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle shared many intimate and affectionate moments of PDA, public displays of affection, during the couple's visit to the Invictus Games this weekend. Well, we also heard rumors of them shouting and getting into a fight that was overheard by others. This was one moment when they went up on stage, and we're going to talk about this in just a moment. It was an awkward kiss, and I thought this was a kind of a strange look. It didn't seem to be on the same page here. And we can remember some of the many faces of Meghan where she's staring at Harry as he's talking, or where it looks like he's been scolding, or where it looks like that they might just be having a quiet moment or even an argument. It's just strange looks between a couple. Very strange. Meghan Markle was angry the palace didn't listen to her ideas on modernizing the firm. Well, we know that's one of the reasons why she left. She thought that she could come in, be brand new, and because she was being given her way and made to be felt very welcomed into the family, all of a sudden she thought that she needed to bring in all these ideas and reinvent the wheel. The Express says Harry and Meghan's U.S. neighbors, bristling as Duke and Duchess, no part of community. Now, this was based on his interview with Hoda. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have largely been a no-show in Montecito, the Santa Barbara neighborhood where they established their lives after stepping down as full-time working royals, it has been claimed. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex have left some members of the Montecito community bristling, as despite moving to the area during the summer of 2020, they have not yet really become part of the community. According to the British journalist Richard Minyards, the writer who pens a gossip column for the Montecito Journal, claimed that the public sightings of Meghan and Harry in the community have so far been very rare. When we do see them, it seems as though it's Harry out on his bike, or it's Meghan staging a pap photo. Something's going on there. Meghan pushes Harry away after TV kiss. A body language expert exposes the dramatic moment. This was interesting. A leading body language expert has revealed that when Prince Harry leaned in for a kiss during the opening ceremony of the Invictus Games, Meghan Markle actually pushed him away. And when I went back to look at this a few times, I could kind of see what she was talking about, but we'll go in and let her explain.
Well, when I get a pair of scissors, I'm taking that piece of hair off that hangs down the front so often it drives me berserk. But when she's on stage, I don't know what she was doing there at the Invictus Games, but when she's on stage, she's so confident as a performer, turning like this. The kiss, however, she has all the rhetoric, but none of the body language of someone who is actually affectionate. So when he walked up, you would think that you would lean forward and put your arms in the cuddle. Instead, she put her hands flat on his chest and stood bolt upright. He then kissed her. She pushed him away and then moved. She has all the affection of an alley cat.
That means not much, or?
And it's true. The more I looked at that, she did keep her hands up in between them instead of embracing him, and kind of gave him a push off. Maybe that was an unplanned kiss. I don't know if it was staged or not, but she clearly wasn't into it. And he has, the first was the Sunrise Show, and this was Good Morning Britain. And that was a picture of the body language specialist that was talking. I had it enlarged so we could see a more of a close-up about Harry and Meghan, but that is the body language person who was explaining what she saw at that moment at Invictus on the stage when they gave each other a kiss, or Harry leaned in to give Meghan a kiss. This is just a picture that was taken at Invictus, and there were many of them there. But look at the distance that Meghan is from Harry. Meghan's way over to the left, and Harry is completely leaned over. And I thought it was strange because if you look, Harry has his arm completely across this man's leg, and the man is giving him a tender touch on top of Harry's hands. Now, why would Harry lean so far over in a photo and not just sit straight up? And they seem to be having a good laugh together. There's something odd about that, and even the lady is looking at it there. She finds it strange. And that's an even close-up picture. This is strange. I don't know what it is, but when Harry sometimes is with men, I see a much broader smile. He seems generally relaxed. He's leaning into this guy clearly and has his arm almost in under his elbow. Here's another guy that he's reaching in, and the guy is turning his face completely over. I don't know if Harry was going to give him a kiss on the lips or what, but he seems to really have his head and neck tilted away from Harry. And Harry looks like he's trying to get a kiss, and the guy's looking away. I don't know if this was a staff member, if this is someone he knows, or if he's part of the Netflix crew. And here is one of the competitors that was there from Britain. And this is at another Invictus Games. And this is where Harry is, well, you can see what he's doing. I'm not even going to say it. Guys, his shirt lifted up, and he is twisting his chest. And even this guy over to the right is like, what is happening? And this young lady is watching like, what am I watching here? And the other people standing behind were doing the same. Now, he's in a public arena. He's at the Invictus Games. This guy has his shirt up, which is clearly inappropriate. But what Harry is doing is even more inappropriate. So if a picture is worth 1,000 words, then what is Harry saying to us in those photos? Could he be telling us something about his preferences? If so, does being married provide a front for him to have children and a so-called normal family, but allow him to be free to explore? I have no idea, but there's something strange about this marriage. Maybe they have an open marriage like others in Hollywood, like Will Smith, Jada Pinkett Smith. Is he hiding something from us? Does he feel that he has to hide this from his family? I'm not saying he is or he isn't, but there's something strange going on because clearly he has a different body language, and I've seen many other photos of him interacting with his bros, and he is doing something that is clearly, I wouldn't think a straight person would do. But again, I don't know. This is all allegedly and just from what I've seen and in pictures myself. We'll just have to think on that a bit. Let me know what you think. Meanwhile, moving on. Elon Musk, I had put this in my community post. This is from his Twitter page. Of course, he owns Twitter now, and it's a privately owned company. Free speech is the bedrock of a functioning democracy, and Twitter is the digital town square where matters virtual to the future of humanity are debated, said Mr. Musk. I also want to make Twitter better than ever by enhancing the product with new features, making the algorithms open source to increase trust, defeating the spam bots, and hopefully the troll bots that are paid for that, come and attack us, and authenticating all humans. So if he did this, he's talking about where you get a blue verified Twitter check, and you don't have to, and you pay for the service now. He's saying that he'll just verify that if you're a human, everybody can get a blue check mark. So Twitter has tremendous potential, and I look forward to working with the company and the community of users to unlock it. I know a lot of people are going to jump ship with him, but that's okay. Let those left-leaning liberals that think that anybody that disagrees with them don't have a right to free speech, let them move on. Let them go find another woke company to work for. And I'll have to say, I've been surprised that Jack Dorsey, who was the previous CEO and who owns, I think, 2.9% of the stock, he and Elon go way back, and they actually admire one another and are good friends. And he says of all the people that have could have bought it, that he's glad that it was Elon, that he has a lot of respect for him. Jack Dorsey couldn't get the board to go back. Once you start taking a company woke and you let other people in and on the board that have that same ideology, then it's very difficult for one or two people to get them to change their mind. So Elon saw this, and that's why he didn't take the seat on the board, and he thought, I'll go back and I'll buy it. So I'm glad he did, and not worried about him at all, because he's going to make it better. It's going to be a platform that everybody will have a right to speak on. And with changing the algorithms, they're not going to play around and use it for political reasons, or for certain celebrities, royals that want to have certain things removed or ranked higher, or keep down low, deranking some of those things that are said about them, like they're doing with other platforms. So he's going to correct those things, and also talked about putting the edit button in right away. So it's done. Elon Musk now owns Twitter, and the deal has been valued at $44 billion. New York Post, Trump predicts to Piers Morgan that Prince Harry's marriage to Meghan Markle will end. Whether you like Trump or not, I'm just going to say that he did have a sit-down with Piers Morgan, and Piers tried to edit it and go back and make it seem like Trump had walked off the stage or walked out of the interview, which was not the case, and was proven because Trump had someone videotape the entire interview so that he would be able to know exactly what he said and didn't say. And so I guess because he kind of called Piers out on, Piers, are you a good guy or not? Because even Nigel Farage had sent him information about he's not always have your back. Piers will sometimes defend you and the next moment attack you. So he was being cautious. So when he found out what he had done, he even went and showed some of the media, here's the entire interview. And listen, I didn't walk off, because here we are at the end, and he's thanking me over and over for being there to be interviewed by Piers. So just to put that at rest, because that's the fake news going out. This, I want you to hear, this is actually the lady Tina Brown, and I did receive the book a few hours ago, and so I'll be starting on that hopefully tomorrow. But she's being interviewed, and she's talking a little bit about Harry and Meghan right here. So I've edited it down just to capture this part for you. So let's listen in for just a moment. It's interesting. She's talking about where they're at now and their brand or lack thereof. Okay, so let's go back.
And they really did, I think, at that point. The constraints and the sort of pettiness, essentially, they conceived of the palace, and the advisors. Try doing it without the palace and the advisors, right? Because what the palace does, of course, it's an amazing has amazing convening power. There's no one who won't take a phone call if they say Buckingham Palace on the phone, Kensington Palace on the phone. So there's a huge convening power. Every major invitation in the world comes through that conduit. And the private secretaries could just sift and say, what about you appear at this? Well, why don't you do this appearance? And all of that's now gone. And essentially, They have to just hire PRs to do that for him. And their judgment is not necessarily the best judgment that they should be listening to, because, of course, they're trying to leverage whatever they say, the royal brand. And there's no PR that really knows how to do that better than Buckingham or Kensington Palace, right? So they're suddenly without this leverage. I think that Harry is in a much better spot because he brilliantly actually started this Invictus Games. And that's what his brand should be. He should just forget everything but the Invictus Games and just make that his brand. It's authentic. He really was, extremely impressive as a soldier. Vets are, in his bloodstream in terms of authentic caring about them. And it's a wonderfully connective cause, frankly, to be aligned to, and has really endless scope in multiple countries. Meghan doesn't really have a brand, is the truth. And she you feel that she is sort of grasping somewhat at, whatever is the kind of Twitter caring of the moment. It's vaccinations, it's Ukraine, it's women's rights, it's, hey, my 40th birthday, let's have a mentoring scheme. Nothing is really going anywhere for Meghan. And then there is the question of the whole entertainment deals that they did. And I think that more savvy advisors, if they had thought about it, could tell them the whole problem with entertainment deals is that you have to deliver hits. They're great. Anyone can, if they're lucky, can sign a major entertainment deal. But where's the product? I mean, they've signed with Netflix. What have we seen? Nothing really, except this upcoming documentary with Invictus, which I think will be great, and I think it's a good idea, actually. But, creating entertainment that works is very hard to do. Their Spotify podcast kind of seems to have gone nowhere. Now Meghan is now doing a new one about, archetypes or something. And, you get a sense that there's a certain amount of flailing there. And, Netflix is not doing so well. Are they going to renew that contract? So they're now having to scramble for the deals in the way that anybody is, who's a celebrity in the kind of platformless universe has to do. And I think it's a very hard task to keep that aloft. If you're royal, there's no timestamp on it. You can be as boring as you want for years and years, and still you're going to have big things coming your way.
So I thought that she was actually very much a way of thinking as we are. Meghan really doesn't have a brand. She jumps on all these different bandwagons, just hoping something will stick. And it's really Harry that she needs, because whether we want to realize it or not, Harry doing the Me You Can't See, doing Invictus, doing the Better Up, he seems to be more popular and being more successful at what he's doing without having any previous experience in the real world than Meghan is. Meghan does not come across as likable. She is not genuine, and she tries to get herself involved with all these things and oversell herself for experience that she doesn't have. She never knew anything about production, about having a production business or audio business or any of this, or foundation. Everybody else has had to do this for, and she's brought in numerous people. And now, where it was talking about Harry had one of the members of his security team at The Hague was previously with President Obama, and that Meghan has now hired a woman who worked for his second presidential run for President Obama. She was kind of his PR guru. So now she's hired her. I have never seen anybody have so many people come and go. And I think a lot of the people that we think are still with them that were hired, maybe even some of those people from Bill Gates that used to work for him, I don't think they're around anymore, because I don't think that they're able to work with her. You don't hear anything being said about them. You don't see their names on anything. And I think it's a revolving door, just like it was at the palace, of people coming in and, oh, you can't do it, you can't fix it, move on, let me go to the next person. And she's looking for that one with the magic stardust who can polish her up and make her look like this shining princess and this humanitarian. But you can't do it, because you can't take somebody who isn't those things, and no matter what you put out about it, we see through it. She's just not one of these people that you can do. I have to say, I didn't care for Obama and his politics, but he was someone that was engaging, and he was someone that was a likable person, and just had that likability factor. And Meghan does not have it. And no matter what she does, she's trying to have this perfect image, and you can't do it. Nobody's perfect, and nobody can have that type of image. But in trying to do that, she's so focused on the image that she doesn't know who she is or what she's trying to do. And she's just trying to go out and seem like she's this almighty, powerful superhero with Harry. And I think she needs him now more than ever. And I think if we thought that there was a chance he was going to leave her, that she'll do everything she can to hold on to him now. But what are they going to do if they keep with this case against Her Majesty's government about the security over in the UK? If they continue doing that, it's going to push them further away from the royal brand if they don't show up now. If they don't bring those kids, whether he gets that extra protection or not, we know that the royal family's protection would take care of them and that they would be safe. But I think she's so mixed up right now that she's putting the horse before the cart, or the cart before the horse, and just making one mistake after another. On one hand, she's trying to prove that she was being truthful during the Oprah interview, and because she's trying to make it seem like there's still a problem with going over, but yet, what happened to the claims about the people? Why would she want to go around the royal family? Why would she want to go back there ever, when it was so bad in her eyes that she had to leave, and that the press was so bad to her? It's just a total contradiction on words. But anyway, let's move on. But this was the book, and like I said, it arrived a few hours ago, so I'll get started on it this week. And again, this will be the thumbnail. When you see this, you'll know that I'm going to be reading small excerpts from the book that I'll go through and highlight, and we'll just share some things that I think that might be new insights or information that we haven't heard before. I won't be reading, of course, the entire book. I wouldn't be allowed to do that, but you can do excerpts from that, and so that's what we'll be doing and having discussion. So I think they really do need the royal family. I think they've really created a mess for themselves, and I don't know how they're going to fix it. And with Netflix, their stocks plummeting, how do we even know? And I'd said this in another video, that they'll be invited to do any other deals. And what happened to Pearl? How many years does it take in production to get a few episodes of an animated, TV cartoon or whatever it's going to be out there? And is David Furnish still working on that? Is he still going to be the executive producer? She's just got herself in so many different things, and it's going to come out. And people have to be realizing by now, Spotify, Netflix, and all of them, that she's not this creative artist or genius, that she needs everybody else to build it for her, and then she just wants to walk in and take credit for it. I just think their world's tumbling apart, and I know that there's still talk she's trying to get into politics, but there's no way she's going to be able to do that. There's no way. There's no way. The woman has a jaded past. There's too many skeletons in her closet, and she can't stand it when somebody says something negative. And you want to talk about a ferocious fight? That's politics. She can't handle it. She just can't. She can't even stand that we talk about her on social media and on YouTube. So Dan Wootton had talked to Thomas Markle, and he had another episodes of Remarkable Friends, but I just didn't feel like there was anything to even talk about on it. I just don't feel like to me, I don't find it interesting. I don't learn anything new. And so many of the things they both talk about, because they're just joining in and don't have the background of it, they're just saying things that they're talking about things they're not familiar about, and it's not true. So now here he is talking to Dan, and it seems like GBN News is sponsoring Thomas to go over. I don't know whether Ken Larson's going over or not, or paying his own way. But it sure seems like that they're going to have him over so they can talk to him and interview him during the Jubilee. But I'm going to tell you something. I've thought a lot more and went back and over the last couple of days looked at things with Mr. Markle and Samantha. And while I do feel sorry for them, and I know a lot of wrong things have been done, I feel like in a way that they are a lot like Meghan. And if they wanted to be able to reach out and do this, they shouldn't be doing it through the media. They shouldn't be doing it through a YouTube channel. It should be done privately. But, and he's talking about wanting to meet Charles because they've got the same thing in common with each of them being grandfathers not able to see their grandchildren. I don't think he has a right to see them. And he's caused them a lot of heartaches too, and embarrassment and everything that happened about the wedding. And why would the royal family want to meet Thomas Markle? Just because he married Meghan? Look what Meghan has done to them. Why would they want to go and meet anybody that's related to her, especially her father, when they're he calls Harry an idiot and all these other things? He might say, he doesn't really talk bad about his daughter, but he does about Harry. And if I were the royal family, I would be like, the Queen is 96 years old. She has no intention on meeting you. You can't be trusted. You're just like Meghan. The minute you would go away, you would go on every show that would pay you to go on. And I'm kind of disappointed at Dan Wooten if this is something he's arranged for him to go over, because I just think that it just creates more gossip and more headlines and clickbaits, and it's already been in every article imaginable in the UK that if he wants to go over, let him go over, but I don't think he should go over and be on TV as saying, I want to be able to meet with the royal family. They have no reason to want to see him and no reason to trust him. And if he thinks by doing this that this is going to help him see his grandchildren, I don't think he believes that anymore. No, because if that were me, I would appreciate more a handwritten letter or a phone call and trying to talk it out instead of going out to the media and speaking out in public. I think what he's doing is wrong, and he's not aware of everything that she's done. And I think if he was, he'd be embarrassed and shamed to even go out and talk about her being his daughter. I'm sorry. Not that he shouldn't love her, but he should be embarrassed at the things that she's done. And I'm starting to think with Samantha in this upcoming case against her sister, I even reached out and said that I thought that she should keep very quiet. She went on a radio station over in the UK recently. And anybody that has got a case that's pending, and you're going out and you're talking about it and you're being interviewed on radio or TV or putting it out on social media, you're not doing anything but hurting your own case. And I think she's coming across just like as her father, and the three of them, I'm starting to think, are three peas in a pod. I'm really starting to think that. I do feel sorry for him, and I have compassion for him and also for her for what she's went through. But I think they've also, speaking out, they've caused a lot of that back on themselves, and they can't blame it all on Meghan, just like Meghan can't blame it all on them. Each of them are guilty. I don't know, tell me how you feel, but that's just the way I'm feeling right now. So he vows to visit the UK for Platinum Jubilee celebrations as he labels Prince Harry an idiot. And this is just a few of the headlines, and you can see that's what's going on. Now, if you were the Queen of England, and it says that Thomas is coming to Queen's Jubilee in hopes of seeing Charles or her, and you've got Thomas bless Prince Harry as an idiot. Thomas Markle calls Harry an idiot. All these things, really? And a wuss, and all of these things? and that he has no respect for him. Why would they want to meet him? And Dan, why would you bring him over if that's in fact what you're doing? Because I think that's going to be a big flop because I've lost respect for him. I really thought that he was wanting to do his channel as a way of speaking out or maybe try to mend things. But it's not. I think he just wants to get in on the action and cash in on the royal family. When did he ever have respect for the royal family, or whenever did he even know about them? He said himself, growing up, they knew nothing about the royals, even though Meghan did, but he didn't. But now all of a sudden, since his daughter married into it, and he's able to speak out, and he sees he's able to get that attention, I'm sorry, but in my gut, I feel that he's no better than her right now, or Samantha. And I'm sorry to say that, but it's what I feel. This is who should have the respect. Her Majesty the Queen should not have to worry about whether or not Meghan's father's coming and whether or not he's on the news and making headlines during her Platinum Jubilee. And he's sitting in a chair off to the side, waving his British flag and talking about how he wants to see her. Don't take away from the Queen. It's bad enough Harry and Meghan are doing it with maybe coming over, maybe not coming over. And now Thomas Markle is coming over. And he's going to make the headlines. For God's sakes, let this woman have her moment in the spotlight for 70 years of service. I know nobody else that's given that much in their lives. Let her be in the spotlight. And quit giving air to all of these other people who don't matter. And Charles, he has nothing in common with Thomas Markle. They might each have 2 kids that they're not really speaking to, but he spoke to Harry. He knows where he is with it. And like Thomas said, they could get together and try to work this out of how they're going to do things. Charles certainly doesn't need Thomas Markle because has Meghan spoke to him since all of this? No. The royal family need to stick together, come up with their own plan, and it doesn't involve Thomas Markle on trying to get Harry to behave because Thomas clearly can't get his own daughter to behave. Those are my feelings. And I have been so intrigued, and I'm sorry I have been watching this case. Johnny Depp trial hears LAPD officer proclaim Amber Heard is not a victim of domestic violence. And today I saw an interview of the psychiatrist who evaluated Miss Heard, and she has, they thought bipolar, but it was borderline personality disorder as well as histrionic. And if you want to talk about similarities of things that we see with the couple I was just talking about and this couple that's on trial right now, it will blow your mind because I see so many similarities in Amber and Meghan and so many in Johnny and Harry. And if you were watching this trial, you'd be like, still have an ounce of compassion for Harry because he is just so in this cycle of abuse. Is he abusing others too? Yes. Johnny Depp didn't. But this Amber Heard, I mean, and you can even see her reaction when the psychiatrist is saying this. But let me just tell you, I've watched the testimony from everyone and talk about a drama. They'll probably make a movie about this because it's insane. It's like a soap opera, and it's so much of what we see in the other two. And at some point, this is going to come down to this, or something terrible is going to happen. It really is, and it's frightening to think about that. I don't know if you could hear that music or not when I recorded it, but it was just a small background music, and that's supposed to be the poppies. And I was just thinking about those that have lost their lives and all their loved ones and family members that have missed them and They sacrificed and gave so much. So our hearts and prayers go out with everyone, and we will never forget. Our veterans are amazing. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to leave me a comment, a thumbs up. Let me know what's going on with your thoughts, and I'll go back and read them. Sorry, I've been just really busy the last couple of days. I haven't gotten to all the comments on the last one or two, but I will get there. So have a wonderful week, and I'll see you probably tomorrow. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you so much for being here with me.